Would your child benefit from working with a counselor? Now, that's a good question. I have here in front of me on this side a lot of information that I want to share with you. Now, before we get started, my name is Dr. Juan Santos. I am a counselor with the Office of Santos Counseling. I wanted to make this video because you're a parent, just like I'm a parent, and we love our kids, right? Especially when they are well behaved. Now comes the question, right? When is it a good time to bring your child to counseling? Whether it's one-on-one counseling for them or you're looking at family counseling. It's a great question because sometimes it may not be as obvious, right? It's different if your child comes to you and says, hey, I want to go see a counselor. Well, you know there's the answer. Or maybe if you notice that your child's grades were up here and then all of a sudden they're down here, right? That's a difference. So let's start there. Here's a great place to start when it comes to working with a counselor. Would it be effective? Is it the right time? Let's say that this is your child's baseline and you're used to them performing here. Now, performing is a broad word. It can mean that this is their level of socialization. It could be that this is where they're making their grades, right? They're an AB student or ABC student, or you're gonna C student, whatever it may be. It could be that they hang out a lot in their room, whatever this baseline is, the norm, what you're used to seeing them do. And then you see this huge drop, right? They used to like to socialize, now they're way down here. Or they were making A's and B's, now they're down here, C's and D's. Or they were out in the kitchen hanging out with the family, and then now they're way down here, right? These are these gaps that you don't just want to pretend like they're normal, right? We want to investigate, we want to get curious. And 9 times out of 10, when myself or counselors at Santos Counseling were working with kids or we're engaging in family therapy, those gaps have a lot to do with the work that we do. And those gaps have a lot to do with why people, just like you, are watching this. Those are the gaps that we want to be curious and go, something is off, right? Something is going on here. Because with those gaps, there are deeper areas. It could be anxiety, trauma, it could be grief, right? It could be depression, it could be just blank, right? Some sort of mental health or life difficulty has taken place. And the gap, I encourage the gap being a place for you to fill. And fill it by working with a counselor, whether it's one-on-one with your child or family therapy. That can get the ball rolling so that at minimum you have information in front of you. And it's a lot better having information because at that point you can use the information to address the gap. Now here are some other reasons, more for the parents, of when or why it could be helpful for you to work with a counselor. If you as a parent are struggling to understand what is taking place with your child, right? That's a difficult one. You may know when they're, a toddler, changing a diaper. You're like, yes, I got this down pat. Or swaddling them. But now you're trying to figure out how to help your middle schooler with identity, how to help your high schooler with branching off into college and building maturity and independence, right? Those are wonderful areas that a counselor can help you with. Let's switch over to the child side. If you notice that your child is bottling things up, right? 9 times out of 10, every day is not gonna be a good day. But you notice that they are not sharing. They're keeping things to themselves. Well, that's not a good thing, right? We as adults know that. We know that we wanna find avenues, whether it's going to the gym, hanging out with friends, journaling, reading a good book. We wanna find ways to not bottle things up. The other one here for your child is seeing if they're struggling with their self-esteem, any of the selves, self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence, right? If you notice a decline in those, that's a red, like a red flag at the beach, letting you know something's going on, right? Something that's going on in that water is turbulent. So be very careful. Now here, when it comes to being a concerned parent, if you notice that your child's self-esteem, self-confidence, self-worth is going down, that can connect to other areas, right? Those decreasing, often there's nice research in here that those impact depression, anxiety, and other mood disorders that can affect your child, not just in the home, but it can affect how they interact with you as a parent. Maybe they have a hard time managing their mood, impacts how they interact with their coaches, with their schoolwork, and so forth. So something I want you to keep your eyes on. Now my hope is that you found this video helpful. Again, my name is Dr. Juan Santos, owner of Santos Counseling. We have counselors that are trained, ranging from play therapy, to trauma-informed trainings, to individual, family, so that you are able to come to a counseling office where you feel supported. Have a fantastic day.